Hi, my name is Carl Price. I'm on Places in my studio, and I make beats, I record music, and I edit videos. I'm going to talk about my favorite thing in the world, the camera, and how it was developed and how many through the years it got better. In the 5th and 4th century, Chinese and Greek philosophers described the basics of optics. They used glass, mirrors, anything you could just see yourself. And 1666, Isaac Newton discovers that white light was a combination of many colors. In 1727, Johann Hendrik Schultz discovered that silver nitrate darkened upon exposure to light. In 1794, the first panorama opens, which was the forerunner for the movie cinema. Joseph Neil Schultz achieves the first photograph image using early device for taking real-life images called a camera obscura. However, the image required 8 hours of light exposure and faded away. Louis Daguerre opens the first daguerreotype, an image that was fixed and did not fade away. It needed only 30 minutes of light exposure. And 1840, first American patent was issued in photography to Alexander Wolcott for his camera. 1841, Willie Henry patents the process, the first negative-positive process, making possible for the first multiple image. In 1843, the first advertisement with a photograph is published in Philadelphia. Frederick Scott, in 1851, Frederick Scott Archer invented the collodion process, so the image required only 2 or 3 seconds of light exposure. And 1859, the panorama camera called the Sutton is patented. In 1861, Oliver Wendell Holmes invented the stereoscope viewer. In 1865, the photographic negatives are added to protected works under copyright law. That means photographs could be patented. Your work was yours. In 1871, Richard Lee Maddox invented the gelatin dry plate silver bromide process, which means negatives no longer had to be developed immediately. In 1880, Eastman Dry Plate Company is founded, which was a major, where George Eastman invents flexible paper-based photographic film. In 1888, Kodak roll film camera was invented, and it was patented. In 1898, Reverend Hannibal Goodwin patents cellular photographic film. In 1900, everything changed. The first mass-marketed crapper ever was the Brownie, and it went on sale. In 1913 and 1914, the first 35mm still cameras developed. In 1927, the first light meter with photographic cell is introduced. In 1935, Eastman Kodak markets Kodachrome film. 1941, Eastman Kodak introduced the Kodak color negative film. 1941, Eastman Kodak introduces the color negative film. 1942, Chester Coulson receives a patent for the electric photographic process. 1941, Edwin Land launches and markets the Polaroid camera. Kodak introduces high-speed Tri-X film, which was an amazing time. The film was faster. It was still black and white though. In 1960, EG&U develops extreme depth underwater camera for the U.S. Navy. That means you can take the camera anywhere, even in water, and you fix to see now they even took it into space. And then the Polaroid introduced the first color film. That means there was color. Introduced the instant color film. They could take a picture, I have a picture automatically. In 1966 was an amazing time for cameras. It was the first time taking a picture of the Earth from the moon, which was one of the most amazing times ever for a photographer. In 1973, Polaroid introduces one-step instant photography with the XS70 camera. In 1977, certain pioneers are introduced to the National Inventors Hall of Fame for what they did, and I've talked about most of them. 1978, Kodak introduced the first point-and-shoot camera. That means you can zoom in, just take a picture. You can take as many pictures as you want. It was everybody wanted a camera. 1980, Sony demonstrated the consumer camcorder for capturing moving pictures. In 1984, Canon demonstrates first digital electronic still camera. I mean, the cameras we have now, that's how it is. It's electronic. Everything's electronic in them. And then in 1985, Pixar issued the digital imaging process, which made cartoons easier to make, and cartoons became amazing. 1990, Eastman Kodak announces photo compact film as digital image storage. That means your SD card that you got in your camera. It means that's how we store films now. We don't have to have film no more. We have a card. In 1999, Kyocera Corporation issues the voice-over phone, the voice-over camera. That means your phone can take cameras. That means it's just got better. Now we look at these cameras. Look at these cameras these days. Look at the camera I'm using. I'm recording to a SD card with it zoomed in, and it's just recording me. It's just amazing. Well, thank you for your time. I'm with Full Sail University. My name is Carl Price. I'm gonna have to rock.